So yesterday I did my first YouTube video, and I was super excited about how everything turned out yesterday, last night, and I was, and also to hear some of the feedback that I received. So I was just excited about, um, just the response that I got. I had 21 views on YouTube. I'm like a YouTube star now. Whoop whoop, 21. Hello, might throw a party. But listen, yesterday I spoke about the purpose of our walking in our purpose, and I don't think that we can truly walk in our purpose until we get comfortable in the lane that we're in. And it's just so crazy because before I did this video, I just went on live, and how comfortable I am now, it was just, it did not go right. So I had to hurry up and delete my live before the people that I'm trying to gain, I lose them. But nonetheless, before us to get into our purpose, we have to stay in our lane. We have to figure out who we are. We have to and be comfortable who we are, and not compare it to what someone else is doing. So with that being said, I'm gonna give an example of us as of you just driving down the road. You're driving down the road, you're minding your business, you're in your lane. In your lane, you have distractions. You have someone on the side of the road standing waiting for the bus, maybe selling something, coming up to your car. You have people trying to ask for change. You have the person behind you that you have to make sure they trailing on you. For some reason, they on your behind. You have somebody in front of you that just keep stopping short, and you have to make sure that you don't hit them. And then you have a person on the side. You just have so much going on in your own lane, in the front of you, in the back of you, on the side of you. And that's just the same thing in life. When you're focused on yourself, you still have so much from other people that's going on, that you have so many other distractions that try to distract you, to pull you out of your lane, to get into an accident, to cause damage, or just to do anything. And so I the way that I see it, when you're driving and you're focused, that's what you have to do, basically. I remember when I was first learning how to drive, I used to be scared driving at night, and because I couldn't see at night. And so I remember somebody I was driving with, when I was driving their truck, he was just like, don't worry about what that person is doing in their lane. Don't worry. Don't look at their lights. Don't look at the lights coming at you. Just stay focused on where you're going. And that has always stuck with me. So at night when I'm driving, I feel like I can't see, I just get focused and I look straight ahead. I don't look at what they're doing on the side. I just look just look straight ahead of me and just be focused on my lane and what I'm supposed to do. And that's what we have to do in life. You have to be focused. You can't allow the oncoming traffic and the oncoming distractions and everything else around you to pull you out of something, and pull you out of something that's going to cause damage and frustration and slow you down. I think another thing that we do is we always compare what this person in this lane is doing, why they're going ahead of us so much faster, like where they're going, like how did they do it, what are they doing that I'm doing differently, that I'm not speeding ahead like them. But the thing is, even when you're driving, you have people who at one point y'all might be doing the same speed, or they might be a little bit behind you, and then all of a sudden they catch up with you and then zoom past you, and then they're out of sight. You can't see them anymore. But eventually, not all the time, but sometimes, eventually, you 10 miles down the road, 10 minutes down the road, whatever, however long it takes, you ever pull up on the side of a pull up on the side of a car of a person that just sped past you doing 20 miles over the speed limit, and you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing 65, so you don't get any tickets, but this person zoomed past you, and eventually you catch up to them at the stoplight. I have done that so many times, and I look at them like, really, that's what you did all of that so we can be in the same place. And it's just sometimes people zoom past you, and I know I have done it, or whatever, swerve in front of people, cutting people in and out, just because I didn't want to be behind them, because I didn't want them to slow me down. But that's just the same thing in life. Just because somebody is speeding up behind you, you will eventually catch up. Whether you catch up with them or not, it doesn't really matter. You still just have to stay focused on who you are and what you're doing. The moment that you lose focus the moment that you lose sight of your lane is the moment that you lose focus on yourself. The moment that you start comparing yourself to other people, It's the moment that you've lost focus on yourself, and that's the biggest thing that we need to do is focus on. And to get into your purpose, you have to know how to just focus on this person, because you can't help your mama, your daddy, your kids, your brother, your sister. You can't help your family. You can't change anything in your destiny if you're not focused on who you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to be going. So, it's just be. I believe all of this ties in with to being comfortable with who you are, and it's a hard road to. I guess it depends on the person. It can be a hard road to get to. It can be a hard and bumpy road to get on, because eventually on any road that you travel anywhere in the U.S. or around the world, it can be smooth, but eventually you're going to come over something dead. You're going to come over some bumps. You're going to come over some detours, and that's the thing. When you are comparing yourself to someone else, when you're going to somebody else's lane, trying to compare yourself to what they have and what they have done, are you to get to where they're going, where they can speed past you, or to get to where they're going, where they're comfortable at that 65, they don't have to go ahead because they're comfortable where God has them? Are you willing to take on everything that they've been through? Are you willing to take on the bumps, the detours, the damages that may have been caused, the dead things that they had to let go, or even some dead people that may have arrived in their life? Are you willing to go through the storms that they may have to travel through? I remember my first time coming from Florida to Ohio with my 2001 purple Dodge Neon. It was a Avenger, maybe Charger, but that's how I felt in my spirit. But it was really a Neon nonetheless. And I remember driving to Ohio. I think I was in Kentucky, and it was raining so hard. It was raining so hard that a lot of the cars were pulling over. You're supposed to go 65 or 75 on the freeway. We were going 25, and I was stuck in between two semis. Like I said, there were some cars pulling over, but it's like, and this is just it's as in life too. You can either keep going through the storm, or if it get too much, pull over. But once you pull over, you still gonna have to get back on the road to keep going. So why not just keep going, but just at a slower pace, and just be cautious about your travel, and be cautious about what's in front of you. Be cautious about everything that's surrounding you. Like, you still have to go. I still have to get. I had a destination to get to. It took me 29 hours to get there for some reason, but but if I would have stopped in that particular moment, it would have took me even longer to get to where I was going. So you have to keep going through, and you have to stay. No matter what comes in your lane, you have to stay there. No matter what tries to attach yourself, whatever runs out in front of you. Because when you're driving, you'll have a deer, you'll have a squirrel. God rest his soul. I don't know how I hit that squirrel that day, but nonetheless, anything that may come in front of you. You may have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, friends, a job, anything that may leap out in front of you that's unexpected. You have to learn how to swerve and prepare yourself to go back, to keep going, and not allow things to stop us. We just have to get to a point where we are just really focused on ourselves. And 1 John chapter 3 verses 2 and 3. Let me change this to King James Version really quick, because I didn't like how that was reading. Hold on. I still don't. But it says, Beloved now are we the sons of God, and it do not appear that we shall be, but we shall. No, I'm sorry. What the... Was it New English Translation? It would help if I was in the right chapter. I'm sorry, hold on one second. I had it up, but I wanted to check. It says, Dear friends, we are God's children now, and what we will be has not been revealed. We know that whenever it is revealed, we will be like him, because we see him just as he is. And everyone who has this hope focused on him. If you focus on the kingdom, everything else will follow. If you focus on the road in front of you, whatever's in back of you don't matter. Whatever's on the side of you don't matter. If you keep your eyes straight where you're supposed to keep them, it don't matter what come across, because you'll be prepared for it. The most of the time, most of the time, I'm not gonna say all the time, when something is hit, when an accident has happened, when something has occurred, when you're driving, it's because the person was distracted, and that's how they hit something, or whatever the case may be. And that's the problem with us. A lot of the times that when we're going through life, we have so many distractions because we're not focused on God. We're not focused on anything but what we can see. And it's so hard to focus on the spiritual because we can't see it. But this is my thing, and this is what I have learned. I've seen with my eyes what I can see. And it was good. It was all right. It was all right. I felt like I could have done better. But I'm going to take a chance out and step out on faith to see what God can do. Because if I was doing all right, I know my Creator will do me justice. I know it will be great through His eyes and do what He wants me to do. So we just have to truly just stay focused on ourselves. Like, you see millionaires. You see billionaires, you see thousandaires, hundredaires, whatever you see. Sometimes we can envy what someone else have, but not know the path that they take to get there. There are some people who may be millionaires now, but they didn't have anything to eat last year. They were sleeping on a park bench. There's so many people who have made it to a certain level, but we look where they're at now, but we don't know where they've been through. So we're comparing, and we want what they have, because we can see that they're living happily now, and we're not living as happy. So we want that, but you don't want everything that's attached to that. You don't want the depression, the suicidal thoughts. You don't want a mother lost, a father lost, a child lost. You don't know what somebody has to overcome to get where they have been. But if you could just